Welcome back to today's episode of Witness to Fitness podcast. I have got a insightful and helpful podcast for you today. So we're going to look at what is absolutely crucial for your overall fitness results. Whether you're trying to get strong, build muscle, lose body fat, this is the episode for you. The biggest secret, secret to your success is sleep. And we're going to delve into how sleep affects your health and performance, how it affects your progress, and hopefully in the process, I won't send you to sleep. Maybe I'm going to kind of widen your eyes with some of the stats and the results that I've got for you. Anyway, let's deep dive into your secret weapon for success, sleep.
Discussions and ramblings of everything fitness, health, and nutrition. Let's go!
So, I know people are probably going to go, well, I kind of know that sleep is important, but I don't think most people really understand that it is truly like the secret weapon. Everyone knows it's important, yet we kind of do stuff to maybe not prioritize it, or there's always things in the way that is breaking up our sleep or affecting our overall sleep quality and therefore affecting our overall lifestyle, performance, progress. So it is really important. You know, if we think about what happens to you during the sleep, there is a magnitude of things. But we know that while you're kind of resting with your eyeballs closed, that it's massively important to help you recover, repair muscle, and kind of help you metabolize fat overall. But we're going to deep dive into exactly how it does that, or what some of the research may kind of point to, and what practical advice that we need to put into play to maximize it really. So when it comes to weight management and ideally reducing body fat, I do get a lot of people that sometimes going, Pete, I'm generally eating really quite well, I'm exercising regular, but I'm still struggling to lose some of the poundage of fat. One of the key ingredients that may be missing is simply sleep. I stumbled across a study back from 2010, and it was a study that basically looked at people on restricted diets, and then they restricted their sleep. They gave some sleep deprivation and some a good night's sleep, and then they monitored how much fat they burned during that point, and the results are quite astounding. So the study published shown that the participants on the calorie restricted diet lost 55% less fat when they were sleep deprived compared to when they got adequate sleep. Let me say that again. You're on a calorie deficit, you are sleep deprived, there is around 55% less fat being kind of shifted, burnt, got rid of. Whereas you're on a calorie restricted diet, you get adequate sleep, both of quality and quantity, you will burn more fat. Instead of burning fat, the kind of crux of this study, instead of burning fat, what they found is bodies started breaking down more muscle tissue for energy when they was sleep deprived. So it kind of changes a little bit the way we kind of use energy when we're in that calorie restriction. You have poor sleep, seemingly bodies want to break down muscle for the energy. When you have good sleep, it will just rely on good old body fat. So on a weight management journey, on a body fat reduction journey, get to bed earlier. You know, we need to really focus on the overall quality of your sleep, because it literally makes a difference by around 55%, which is huge. And then there's the side note that sleep deprivation is not only going to slow down your recovery, it's going to make you lose muscle, which is the exact kind of opposite thing that we're trying to do when we're working out regularly. We're working out regularly to help build muscle, to help all the other health benefits that carrying more muscle brings. And just by you having sleep deprivation, where you're not, getting at least 6 hours sleep, let's say, it's really going to have a negative effect overall. So the fact that you're getting less than, let's say, 6 hours sleep a night, it's going to lower all the kind of positive effects that we're trying to get from our kind of awake moments when we're eating and exercising, if you're not getting adequate sleep, it just kind of puts them to the side. It's not going to help. It's seemingly that nutrition and exercise, it kind of kills me to say this a little bit, only really works if you're getting good sleep with it. I mean, it's fairly well known that if you are sleep deprived in terms of kind of hormones, so they know that people that kind of struggle for sleep, it can lower levels of testosterone, it can lower levels of growth hormone, all of which are really important again for overall health, fitness gains, muscle mass, burning fat. And that's just my first point to get to bed earlier. So with this in mind, we kind of know that sleep is really going to affect your performance. And when I say performance, it is in all manner of ways, both physically and mentally. Your performance for your jobs, deadlines, performance for picking up kids, and the whole host of lifestyle stuff that we've got to do, that overall performance, it's going to be a huge role sleep is in terms of your overall performance. So we really need to get it in. Now, one kind of study that I found really interesting was done at Stanford University, and they took a load of basketballers and then they just kind of wanted to see that if we give these athletes good sleep and poor sleep, how does it affect their overall performance physically? And again, the results are amazing. You without seeing or hearing the results, you would kind of go, yeah, I kind of half guessed that, but it's kind of puts it into more perspective overall that we really need to focus on a bit more sleep. So these basketballers, they extended their sleep to 10 hours. So they helped them just sleep better for longer over several weeks. The result was quite astounding. They had improved reaction time, sprint speed, and shooting accuracy. Similar results have been found with other kind of disciplines and sports, from kind of tennis to weightlifters, that if you get lots and lots of good quality sleep, your overall physical performance is going to shoot up. Think about reaction time, sprint speed, shooting accuracy. We can see that there's a mental aspect there and a focus aspect, as well as that physical aspect overall. So again, it is going to affect your performance, and we need to get it sorted. Now, I know I've just said that in that kind of study that they had 10 hours, and the 10 hours really meant they was well rested, and it improved the coordination, the mental focus, the sharpness, and they was really able to push themselves harder. But it's not just about hitting a load of time. So, if you were 8 to 10 hours, does that mean that you've got good sleep? No, not quite. Not all sleep is kind of done equally, if that makes sense. When we look at sleep, we need to really think about the quality of sleep that you are getting. So sleep's in cycles, really simple. It's kind of divvied up into two different stages: a deep sleep and a REM sleep, so rapid eye movement sleep. The deep sleep is probably one of the most crucial things when we start looking at performance and lifestyle health. So when you're in that deep sleep, your body starts to release high amounts, big amounts of growth hormone. So let's say you've been hitting the weights really hard and you're looking to gain strength. Unless you're really getting that deep sleep, then you're not really going to get as much growth hormone to help you recover and get bigger and get stronger. You need the deep sleep. That's even if you have 8 hours, because deep sleep, you need to move into them cycles. So let me give an example where I get 8 hours, but I don't get the deep sleep. And it's going to be a way that I keep getting woken up. So let's say fall asleep, and then I wake up to go to the loo, and then I wake up because I hear a noise, and then I wake up because I'm hungry because I didn't eat when I should have ate, or a whole host of different things. There is different stimulus that they may break up my sleep. So even though when I wake up I have had 8 hours, but the quality of that sleep has been so poor, therefore my body's not been able to get in deep sleep, therefore I'm not going to get the boost to my growth hormone, and my body's not going to get that benefit because of that lack of deep sleep. I mean, growth hormone's not just kind of helping repair tissue and muscle growth. Growth hormone's also needed for like your immune system to really kind of give that a boost, you know. And that makes sense when you kind of think about it, that when I have deep sleep, my body releases growth hormone, which helps support my immune system. You know, what the one thing that we find to do really easy when we're run down and we're ill? Sleep. Our body just kind of intuitively knows that we need to shut this human being down. We need to get into sleep mode so I can get them into a deep sleep, so I can start generating more of this growth hormone to boost the immune system to help them get better. It kind of makes sense, and you can see it played out for everyone. You know, everyone's been ill, we know that. And I guarantee the last time you was ill, you probably wanted to sleep a lot. And it's more than likely because your body wants to drop you into that deep sleep to then create the growth hormone to then boost your immune system overall. But then there's other aspects of kind of what we'll consider like just health, performance, and you know, we'll go back to that focus. So we know that deep sleep is also needed for kind of like healthy brains. So I watched Matt Walker. If you don't know who he is, Matt Walker is a sleep specialist. I watched one of his TED Talks where he talked about kind of sleep and retaining information, you know, consolidating memories and learning. And what they found, that if you have good sleep, basically you will remember stuff well. You know, your short-term memory will ease into your long-term memory more, and kind of mastering new techniques or movements or information is improved. If people are sleep deprived, that can reduce by up to 40% just by not having adequate sleep. And the way Matt Walker puts it, that if you were studying for an exam, literally the worst thing you could do is try and pull an all-nighter. Because the moment you're sleep deprived, a lot of that information that you're going to try and cram in, you're not going to remember 40% of it. So, you know, what would a better tactic be if you've got some tests, assessments, or you're needing to kind of learn, skill, upgrade? It's like, prioritize your sleep. So if you know that, you know, you're not quite sleeping brilliantly, that might be both quality and quantity, and you're waking up frequently, not spending enough time in deep sleep, and you're missing out on some of the like kind of the most important benefits that I've just kind of outlined, then we really need some kind of things to put in place to turn that around, you know, because we know everyone's going to have periods where they don't sleep very well, but the idea would be that we can do little things, little practical tips that helps tip it in our favour, that we start sleeping a little bit better, a little bit more often, to get all of these physical and mental benefits of sleep. So I've done some digging, and I've kind of helped find some science-backed, some study-backed strategies to help you kind of improve your sleep for the better, and therefore you're sleeping better, you're going to get better fitness results, whatever you're trying to do. Like I say, trying to lose fat, you're trying to build muscle, trying to do both. By optimizing these strategies I'm going to go through, you're going to get more benefit, and it's going to be well worth it. So let's get stuck in. And I'm going to use the C word that everyone usually kind of rolls their eyes at or scoffs at, and it's consistency. You knew it was going to be consistency. I'm pretty sure I talk about consistency in every single episode, no matter what I talk about. And sleep is no different. And the reason why consistency and setting a schedule and sticking to a schedule is so important is a thing called circadian rhythm. I'm hoping you've heard of this before, because everybody's bodies run via the circadian rhythm. So basically it's just like your internal clock, and some of it plays into with daylight, and you know that can affect that overall. And the fact that currently we're going towards autumn and the winter months, that the rhythm may change, but we need to kind of in tune with it. So therefore, top tip is try going to bed and waking up at the same time every single day. Let me say that last bit again. Every single day. That includes the weekend. For all you kind of people that live for the weekend, it's like, if you want to get most benefit out of this, you need consistency. Monday, to Sunday. Now, when you're setting the schedule, you really need to think about the amount of time that you've got. So it's no good going, I'm going to go to bed at 11 and then wake up at 5 because I've got work. That is destined to fail, because you know straight away that you've not got enough time there. You need to be, if you do need to wake up at 5, well then straight away that gives you an idea that maybe we need to be in bed by 9, 10 o'clock and just kind of relaxing to then send ourselves to sleep at that point. You need to make sure that you're getting at least 7 or 8 hours in, or you have the ability to try and get 7, 8 hours in with the schedule that you set. The reason why it's important, I told you it would be studied back, there is some research out there that suggests that if you've got irregular sleep patterns, let me take that example that I've just given you. You've got really strict, consistent time, Monday to Friday because of your job, and then your weekend you just let it go span all over the shop. One day you went bed, then you stayed in late, it just threw it all out. What that can show is it can throw off your circadian rhythm. As soon as you've done that, it's going to make it harder to get that deep sleep and that kind of restorative sleep. So, I know it might sound like a party pooper, but if you really want the benefits to health, fitness, then making your sleep scheduled and consistent is one of the best things you can do. Now, once you've created that kind of, we'll say, schedule, tip 2 adds to that schedule overall, and it's about creating what's referred to as like sleep hygiene. So your bedtime routine, what are the good things that you put in place that help facilitate you relaxing and sleeping? You don't need me to point the obvious, kind of you and your body, including your mind, need time to kind of unwind. I think you should aim to spend at least 30 to 60 minutes kind of prepping to sleep, doing something that helps calm you down, that helps prepare you to actually just drift away and go to sleep. Here's some of the top things you could do. Number 1, get rid of your screens. They're just distractions. They're there to help kind of keep you awake. So TVs, tablets, phones, get rid of them. Get them out of sight. Once you've done that, maybe get a hot shower, a hot bath. Now, one of the beauties of heating the body up, it will go through rapid cooling after that. And a cool body is a body that's better prepared to sleep, and we'll go through that momentarily about having a kind of appropriate environment. But get a nice hot bath and then get yourself into bed. And it's not necessarily kind of to directly to go to sleep. It's just to chill out, try a bit of reading. Try, clearing your mind, maybe some meditation, maybe listening to some kind of chilled out music. Just set the tone for something a bit more relaxed and chilled, which is going to help you then drop off. So I've created consistency of the times I go to bed and get up. And then as I go to bed, I've created myself a little bit of routine to help me relax and get prepared to go to sleep. Now, tip 3, as I've just said, is really important. It's the environment. So we need to make sure that your kind of bedroom is then in a good position to help you sleep overall. And this is probably more important than you realise. Now, most people have a really hot house, and believe it or not, if you want to optimise sleep, all the research suggests that it needs to be cool, not cold, cool. Optimal sleep is ideally between 16 and 18 degrees. Now, I know some of you are going to scoff going, that's bloody freezing. It's not. It's cool. And your body will thank you. You're going to get out of your hot bath shower. Your body's already going to get cool. Get into a nice cool room. You will fall asleep easier in a cooler room than you will a hotter room. And this makes sense again. Every time you go on holiday and it's stifling hot, how hard is it to fall asleep? It's really hard. We're in a cool room. Do you ever have the struggles in a cool room that you have when the room is hot? No, you don't. So we need a room set to around 16 to 18 degrees. Them lower temperatures are going to promote a better deep sleep. So that's one aspect, cool room. Second things are kind of distractions or things that may wake you up. So we may need to block out noise and light. You may need to invest in some blackout curtains or maybe a sleep mask or some earplugs. And then we need to think about what we're actually laying on. Is it comfortable? Pillow, mattress. most mattresses, what's the kind of supposed shelf life is, if you get a good one, it's going to last anywhere between 8 and 10 years before you need to switch it. So if you're on a mattress that is beyond 8 to 10 years, it is well worth your investment to get a really good mattress overall. Now, my approach to mattresses is invest in it. You're going to spend a third of your entire life asleep on a bed. Let that sink in. A third of the years that you've got walking this earth is done asleep. Invest in a good mattress because it would be well worth it. So I've created some consistency. I'm going to bed and getting up at the same time. I've got a nice kind of pre-bed ritual and routine in terms of relaxing myself, removing screens, having a warm bath. My environment's ready, it's cool, I've blocked out noise and light, and then we need to kind of help that along with limiting things that are going to affect our sleep overall, and we could see these as kind of stimulants of some sort. Now, we don't want caffeine in your system or alcohol in your system. Caffeine is a stimulant. It's literally going to stimulate you, wake you up, improve your concentration, make you alert, all the things that we don't want when we're trying to go to sleep. Now, depending on the strength of coffee can easily stay into your kind of system anywhere between 6 to 12 hours. So think about if you need to go to bed at, let's say, 9:30, potentially anywhere between 6 and 12 hours before that point, you need to stop ingesting caffeine. So for some of you, that might be mean at 12 midday, I need to stop drinking caffeine. That's my last caffeinated drink. Alcohol affects sleep in a slightly different way. You may find it easier to drop to sleep, but you will not go into a deep sleep because alcohol's got a nasty little habit of prodding your fight or flight response, meaning that you will wake up through the night, even if you're not quite conscious that you've woke up. You will have disrupted sleep where your body's kind of groaning, turning because the alcohol is prodding your fight or flight response in your brain. And to flip it off, your alcohol may encourage you to kind of diuretic a little bit more and want to waking you up further down the line. So we need to remove stimulants, remove caffeine, remove alcohol. It will help your sleep overall. So let me wrap this up. My final thoughts. Sleep is not a luxury. There's a lot of people that start talking about if you prioritize your sleep, you just lazy. What a load of BS that is. If you're really serious about improving your health, getting better performance, getting fitter and stronger, managing your body fat, and just generally having a better standard of life, you need to prioritize your sleep tonight, please. Starting tonight, I want you to apply some of the tips that I've given you. Start setting yourself a routine of going to bed at a reasonable time and stick to it. Make a little bit of a pre-bed routine. Find out what really works for you and apply it overall. Get rid of your caffeine, get rid of your alcohol before, and then really kind of optimize your sleep environment. Is it time to invest in a new mattress? Is your room too hot and you need to bring the temperature down a little bit? Do you need to put some, is it the light or the noise that's waking you up? Let's block some of these out so you can really improve your overall sleep. Before I finish this podcast today, I'm going to leave you with a little bit of a challenge for the next 2 weeks. And I want you to come back to me and comment below how you got on in the next week, or maybe 2 weeks then. About a week. A week might be a little bit easier to do, but if you get on a roll, let me know 2 weeks. You're going to aim to get at least 8 hours of sleep in every single day. That might mean you need to go to bed earlier, by the way, because you got work and stuff. But for the next week, maybe 2 weeks, aim for 8 hours of quality sleep. Now, one of the best things you can do is just record a sleep journal. Do it when you have your breakfast. Just write a few things down about your sleep. Did you wake up to have a wee? Was you broken up? When you woke up, did you feel rested? What were some of the things that you found working or not working? For the next week or two, try and aim for a good 8 hours of quality sleep and record a sleep journal. Let me know how you get on in the comments below or directly message me. If you do this, I am pretty confident that I can promise you will notice the differences. The difference will be noticeable, and it'll be well worth it, and it will probably motivate you to keep on top of it and to improve and to actually prioritize and, see that your body needs that sleep. It is a necessity for both physical fitness, health, performance, and your overall kind of being and how you're improving through this world. Sleep isn't a luxury, it's an absolute necessity. And there you had it. That's I hope I didn't send you to sleep. I hope you was very alert and kind of your ears picked up with some of the kind of research facts that I give you, and hopefully you're going to apply some of the practical tips that I've outlined. It's really important that you don't be a kind of what I refer to as a kind of leech. You take the information, but you don't do anything with it. You've got some of the information now. The hardest bit is always applying it. I want you to try and get out there and apply it into your lifestyle and your kind of sleep routine overall. If you found this episode helpful, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, don't be boring. Maybe share this with a friend that needs to actually prioritize their sleep or maybe needs some help with their sleep. And like I said, I'd love to hear how you get on with your sleep improvements and your sleep challenge that I've set you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to keep a lookout for the next podcast. And in the meantime, stay active, stay healthy, get in some good quality sleep, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.